our theme this month is value. Let me grab this. So my question is, of course, what do we value? So I want to start with this question. This is the title of my talk today. What exactly do you have? So I'm really asking that question to you. What do you have? And when I say to you, and when someone says to you, what do you have, what comes up for you? I mean, what comes up to you? What do you have? I have a house. I have a husband. I have children. Gabriella has integrity. I have a Mercedes. I have really amazing friends. I have an incredible son who missed my opening night last night, so he's less incredible. I mean, that's just a question for you all. What do you have? And then that bodes the question and brings us to, what do you consider valuable in your life? What is valuable to you in your life? And I know, we're all sitting in a spiritual center today, so we're all going to go to all the things, integrity, love, all the stuff that Karen said. But do you really value those things? And there's a litmus test of how you know. And then you need to ask yourself, besides what do you consider valuable, the next question is, why do you consider that valuable? Because there are people that if you say this is valuable to you, they'd be like, yeah, that's not important to me. So why? Why do you consider what you consider valuable? And it's important to look back and find the reasons to this, because sometimes our belief systems lead us in a direction we no longer want to go, but we hold on to them. And we hold on to thoughts and ideas that are no longer valuable to us, but we're holding on to what we thought. So that's what we'll be doing this month, really asking ourselves that very important question. What do I value? What do I value in life? And why do I value it? Like, for instance, my marriage, 34 years, thank you. It's 38 years together, but 34 years of marriage, but 38 years together. I really value that. I don't, there's nothing that's more valuable to me than that. Part of that's because I grew up with parents that had a very bad marriage. And I saw all the marriages around me, and I've seen so many marriages end and change. And I'm talking about when I was young. My whole family, people were just, they'd cheat on one another and hold secrets and all that sort of stuff. And I grew up thinking, that's how you do it. Just don't get caught. Those were some of the values I held. Don't get caught. It was very valuable to me. Until it wasn't. And everything changed. And I took a whole year off of dating and coupling. A whole year. It was tough. And I came out of that and met Kevin. And that's always been such a huge lesson to me. If you get quiet and you really give yourself the time to tap into what wants to know you, what really wants to know you, then it shows up. And no one ever expected that to happen. So I value us partly because of my belief system as it grew into what I needed it to be. So that's what I want us to be doing this month. I really want us to take the opportunity to find out what you value. And here's the other thing. You may find out that you value something that you're not giving yourself. I value this. Well, why don't you have it? If you value it, why don't you have it? I value time, peaceful time for myself. How often do you give yourself that? Not a lot. So, I have a quote by Albert Einstein here. He says, try not to be a man of success, rather be a man of value. Or a woman, obviously. But think about that. How many of you have spent a great portion of your life focused on success? I mean, I don't need your hands because pretty much every hand goes up. But seriously, at some point in your life, no, I do want to. If I were to say to you, was there a point in your life where you were very focused on success? How many hands would go up? Okay, that's a lot of hands. You come into a teaching like this. When I found Science of Mind, I was an actor. living in Los Angeles. And when I found it, I was like, now I'd come from Unity, from Eric Butterworth. But when David Walker spoke at the Los Angeles Church of Religious Science, I listened. In fact, it was like a bolt of lightning hit me at the, whatever that was, Scottish Rite building on Wilshire. It just hit me, and I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is it. And it took me a while to move from the, I need to succeed at every cost, to I need to learn how to be who I am, not succeed at something I don't even know if I want anymore. So that was a great, great, great lesson. So try not to be a person of success, rather be a person of value. But what is that value? What does that mean? What does it mean, that type of value that we're talking about? And I love this by Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin said, "A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life." I am 71 years old, and I can tell you I've probably wasted, I don't know, I won't even try to figure it out, but a lot of time. A lot of time. And when I went looking for the video, for the picture, it made me laugh. There were a number of these that came up. It was like, not only is this person working at a job he seems really bored with, but he's not even doing it. He's now texting, or he's looking at probably TikTok or something. How many of you feel that you waste a lot of time on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook? All the things that take our attention. How many of you can be on FaceTime or Instagram and suddenly it's 20 minutes later and you've watched just this string of innocuous videos? Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Or am I? I don't know. I think I am saying that. But it is a waste of time. It does occupy you. It distracts you from what you want to be doing. So if the idea is a man who dares to waste 1 hour of time, you all know that you have a limited time here on earth so far. Is there anybody here who thinks they are going to live for all time in eternity in the body you're in now, in this experience, at this journey? I don't think so. I plan on living for all time and eternity because I believe that's what we all are. We are all time and eternity. And we keep reliving and repurposing our lives. How? I don't know. This is not a talk on past lives and future lives. But I will say it is a talk about we need to stop wasting time. We need to value the time we have left. And I have a thing on my wall from Mental Muscle that says, if I can't put my heart in this, I need to take my heart out of it, because I'm not wasting any more of my heart time. I'm also not wasting any more of my mental real estate on things that really don't serve me. And it's hard sometimes because we are so predisposed to think the way we think, the way the universal mindset thinks, the way race thought thinks. I tell you, I cannot listen to the news that much anymore. I do listen to it because I want to be kept abreast of what's going on. But as soon as it starts getting into the droning, complaining, we're doomed, I turn it off and put on 40 hertz music so I can get my brain and heart back into sync, because I've just gone into the mental, to the brain part, the critical thinking part that is not doing me any good. So that's what this says to me. Do I value my life? Do I value my time? Because if I do, why would I ever do anything that derails me? Why would I do anything that takes me out of this flow of pure energy? So this came to me this morning, this quote from Mahatma Gandhi, and I'm sure many of you know it, but it hit me a different way. Your beliefs become your thoughts. I teach that. I totally believe that. I think the way I think because I believe what I believe. Your thoughts become your words. Sure, I believe this, therefore I think this way, and that's how I speak. That's how I present myself to the world, right? Your words become your actions. As soon as I start talking about it, the pulse in my heart moves, and I start taking action. Based on what I have believed, thought, and now spoken, I take action. Your actions become your habits, which means as your actions become your habits, they stop becoming conscious. It's just what you do. Your habits become your values. And now you are stuck in a value that traces itself all the way back to a belief you may or may not want. and your values become your destiny. So while your values become your destiny sounds really impressive and impactful, if you go back to the beginning, your beliefs become your thoughts. There's the whole thing. It's what we teach here. Your beliefs create everything. It creates your destiny. You want to know where you're going to be next year? Look at your beliefs today. It's creating your next year. It's bringing next year into focus based on what you're saying, what you're thinking, your actions, your beliefs, your habits. And it all comes down to, what are you willing to value and really stand behind? And I would like to think that at the end of the day, what we are really, really going to value is ourselves. You, the life you're living. Now, does that mean somebody should get up and quit their job because it doesn't fulfill them? Yes. It kind of does. Kind of does, because here's the thing. If you're in a job that doesn't fulfill you, and I know you're going to say, but I need money, I'm raising my family, yeah, I get all that. But do we live in a world and in a consciousness and in a quantum field where the universe is listening to what you are telling it? And if you're telling it and asking it for more of the same because you're not willing to make changes that are important for you to change your life, then, oh well, then that's your destiny. So, I used to always say, no, don't quit your job until you get it together. But now I'm thinking, just quit the damn thing and figure it out. I mean, if you're like a week away from your retirement and I would think about it. You could deal with another week of unfulfillment. But wait a minute, what am I saying? What if you only have 3 days left? Why would you wait 7? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. You don't know. You do not know how much time on this planet, in this journey, is left for you. You don't know. So this idea of you need to not waste an ounce of it, any at all. I got to tell you, putting this talk together has brought up so much emotion. I mean, really, I'm on the verge of tears here just talking about this because I hear so much of it around me. I'm about to go to Philadelphia next month to see my aunt that raised me, who now has Alzheimer's. I don't know if she's even going to know me. I doubt that she will. But I started thinking about her life and how much of her life she was waiting to retire. She was waiting to live that life she wanted to live when she retired. Unfortunately, by that time, when her husband and she were both ready to retire, they both had Alzheimer's. So all of those years of struggle and stress and pain and, but it's the Irish Catholic quote of what we grew up with in Philadelphia. It was like, if you weren't complaining and miserable, you were not living. I mean, that was kind of the way it was for our family, And as you know, our mantra was, we don't get the breaks. That was the mantra of the Harkins, my mother's side of the family. We don't get the breaks. I had to then go out, and here's something interesting. I had to go out and prove that was not true. And I got break after break after break. But you know why I was getting the breaks? To prove them wrong. So the energy around it never felt good because I never loved all the breaks I was getting. And it wasn't until I realized that I was like, I'm done. I'm done proving my family wrong. I'm done trying to prove anything. I should just enjoy this. And then the very next show I got, which is a show called Funny Face, a Gershwin show, the next show I got, I had the best time of my life. I wasn't trying to prove anything. I didn't care about the reviews, which were wonderful. I just did what I did and enjoyed it. So I'm working to get back to that. And I'm good. I'm pretty good at it. But there are still moments that I have to look at and say, no more of this. No more of this, and no more of this. I need more of this, and more of this, and more of this. And that's what we get to decide. What do we consider valuable? And I know some of you are going to say, well, some of the challenges in life are very valuable in terms of learning tools. I will refer you to page 420 or something in the Science of Mind textbook, where he says, we have learned all we need to learn through struggle. We have learned all we need to learn through pain. Try learning through ease. Try learning through happiness and joy. Try learning through success and prosperity. I can learn that way too. It's a choice. Warren Buffett said this: price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Very important. How many of you are caught up in the things you have? Are they good enough? Are they flashy enough? You know, are they representing me in the right way? I love this. Value is what you get. Meaning the universe is here to just give you. Do you know that? The universe is here to give you whatever you decide to receive. It is the greatest value of life to understand that this quantum field is yours to use, that this indefatigable energy is yours to have. That's what you get when you remember this, when you remember who you are. So this month, I'm really asking you all to figure it out. Really figure out, what do you value? What is valuable to you and why? And maybe change it up, turn it around. You know what, I thought this was valuable to me. Actually, it's not, but this is. Then take your attention and focus and move it over here. And don't take it back over here. When Ernest Holmes says, in treatment, turn entirely, for you ladies of the practitioner class, in treatment, turn entirely away from the condition. What does that mean? It means don't bring all of your crap into a consciousness that really wants to expand. So whatever it is you don't value, you've realized it, stop considering it. Stop thinking about it. Stop living from it. And move your attention over here to the consciousness of whatever it is you want. That's when that expands. So that's your job this month. So last night, as you all know, I just opened a play last night, and it was challenging. It was a very challenging play. It was took a lot of work. Actors came in to start the process with one script, and what showed up on that stage last night was about 80% different. You know, and that's what happens in a world premiere play, because you see all the holes. Even yesterday, sitting there opening night, I went, there's a hole I never got to. I was shocked. And I mentioned it to someone, and they went, oh my God, you're right. But it didn't matter. I was like, well, I'm not changing it. At this point, the actors would be mutiny on the James. So it was a very challenging experience. Fulfilling, yes, but challenging. You know, there were moments when people were crying and things were, you know, going on, and part of me was like, oh my God, do I really want to do this anymore? This is so challenging. But instantly the answer was yes. The answer was, no, you're really good at this. You really do love doing it. But here's what I got last night at the opening night party. I used to value something. I used to value attention. People telling me how great I was. I used to value the reviews if they were good. Then I would curse the ones that weren't. But I used to need that. I used to value being the number one person responsible for what was on that stage. I didn't feel that way this time doing this. And last night, what I valued most was the cast when they came out into the lobby and everybody cheered them. And what I valued was their faces, their accomplishment, what they felt like. They were just so accomplished, what they were able to accomplish in 4 very short weeks. And people were just all over them. I mean, these are really talented actors. In fact, the star of our show was one of the stars of the movie Hunger Games when she was 16. You know, and so this is, I think, maybe the first play that's been hung on her, because the play is her play, really. And I'm watching them, and I was standing against a wall. She's so not like me. I was standing against a wall with a friend of mine, and we're just standing there, and I'm watching everybody go all around these people. And I turned to him and I went, you know what's funny? I'm not feeling like I want any of that. I said, my gift is watching that. That's a huge shift for me. What do I value? Just what Karen said. I value connection more than anything else. I value being an integral part of someone's life. And the friendship that comes from that, and the love that comes from that, the expansion that comes from that. So that's what I'm asking you to do this month, to really take a look and ask yourself, what exactly do I have? And is it what you really want? And you know what? Perhaps the answer to that question right now, is different than it was 20 minutes ago when I asked it the first time. Maybe you're thinking in a different way. Maybe there are things you need to change, switch up. I'm here to tell you, don't be afraid to do that. You know that my AEP is, my life is unfolding perfectly. But the 3 words that come after that are, so let it. I got that on a treadmill one day. I was on the treadmill going, my life is unfolding perfectly, my life is unfolding perfectly. And in the back of my head I hear, then let it. I was like, oh my God, you're right. Is your life unfolding perfectly, or is it not unfolding perfectly? It is. It is. It will unfold perfectly the way you design it. And you are designing it purposefully, and you are designing it by accident, or on accident, which the kids now say. I was correcting Will. I'm like, no, Will, it's by accident and on purpose. He went, no, it's by purpose and on accident. I was like, whatever. So you're either designing it purposefully or not purposefully. It's up to you to decide. It's really simple, folks. Decide what you value. Know why you value it. And then decide again, do I still want this? And if you do, take everything you have and put it right there, because the universe is a resounding yes to whatever that is. Namaste.